All right. So, what does it take to start a trucking company? Let's dive in.
Who knew? Turn 7 to a 14, 14 to a whole thing. Lord knows it's a cold game. Switched up on you hoes, man. Big body take both lanes. Backseat blowing propane. All black, 5 gold chains. Young rich nigga bossed up on his own, man.
What's up, fam? It's your boy Big Red Trill back. So today I'm gonna break down what it costs and all the things you need to do to start a trucking company. Okay? So I got a high end, I got a low end. All right. So the very first thing you guys need to do, you need to get your experience up / your bankroll. So what I mean by that is your experience, man. You need to know how to operate these trucks, man. You need to know how to operate this heavy equipment. I know there's a lot of people who want to get into the industry and don't want to necessarily drive the truck. But even if you don't know how to drive the truck, if you don't want to drive the truck, you should still know how to do it. For one, it's going to make your insurance premium lower when you go get your insurance and then show that you have a CDL. And for two, what if you get put in a situation where you got to go move that truck and the driver to abandon the truck and you the only person who can move the truck. So it's just a good idea to get your experience up. And the way I see it is, if I'm doing something, if I'm in a business, I want to know how to do every part of that business, point blank, period. So I want to know how to. It don't matter what business it is. If I'm selling sandwiches, it don't matter. If I'm a janitorial service, I want to know how to do every aspect of that business. You understand? That's what make you more successful. That will make you stand out. So get your experience up. And while you get your experience up, you get your bankroll up, because this is a very capital intensive industry. It's a very capital intensive business. You got to have cash flow. You got to have your money right. So once you get your experience up, you get you you find you a gig, you over the road, man. Go over the road for about a year, man. Go over the road for a year straight. Don't have try to eliminate your bills, no car notes, no house notes. You can go over the road for a year. For the first year, you can bring home $100,000, man. If you eliminate your expenses and you just hit the road, man, you discipline, I guarantee you'll bring $100,000 back, right? And that'll bankroll your own business, right? So that's the first one. All right, after you do that, you want to go to number 2, man. You want to get an LLC. Now, LLC can cost you anywhere from $150 to $300, depending on what service you use. Or you can be savvy and do it yourself and for free. Just file with the Secretary of State. All right. Once you get your LLC, you're gonna get a bank account, or you need a business bank account to do transactions. All right. But before you can get that business account, I kind of just threw this down. You need to get an EIN number first before that business bank account can open. All right. An EIN number is free. All you got to do is Google EIN. All right. And then your Duns and Bradstreet number, your SCAT code. That's kind of on the advanced level. If you want to look into things like government contracting and stuff like that, your Duns and your SCAT you might need. All right, so once you get that, remember you got to get your EIN before you get your bank account. All right, so once you get those done, you come here and you get your MC, your motor carrier authority, and your USDOT number. All right, this is going to cost you $300 or more, depending on if you do it yourself. If you do it yourself, it's going to cost $300. If you have a provider do it, it can cost you anything. It can cost you thousands. I can't tell you how much these people charge. They charge a lot. But I think I'm going to break down and show you guys how to do it yourself, because I filed my authority myself. All right. Once you file for your authority, you're going to go ahead and start looking into your equipment. Now, this number varies. I just threw a number out here. It could be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, all right, on the down payment, or it can be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 on the down payment, or you might cash out on the truck. It's a lot of different strategies, and we can go into that later, like all the different strategies you can do owning equipment. The best thing to do is to own it outright and eliminate your expenses. That's the best thing to do. But then there's another risk. You know, you go cash out $10,000 on the truck. That truck may not last too long. You see what I'm saying? It's all the gamble, it's all the risk. So, but those different strategies, we definitely go into that as well. All right. So after you do that, you're gonna get your insurance. Now, your insurance is gonna run you anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. Your down payment, depending on your record. It's a lot of different variables how these insurance companies rate you. So it's going to be anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000, and it's also depending on how much equipment that you want to insure. All right, and then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your 2290. Now your 2290 is going to cost you, I think it's like $200. All right, your 2290 is just a tax. It's nothing else but a heavy highway vehicle tax. All right, that the government wants. It's all tax. All right, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to file for your IFTA license. This is absolutely free. All right. And all this stuff, all you got to do is Google it. Google it. Do your research. If you're going to get into this business, man, you have to know, you have to learn how to, do your own research and figure out all the things that you need to know, because it gets deep. All right. After you file for your IFTA license, you're going to file for your UCR. This is a Unified Carrier Registration. And I believe it's like $550. Okay. It's just another tax. All right. Everybody got your hands in your pocket when you're in this industry. Remember that. All right. The next thing you're going to file for is your BOC3. Now, your BOC3 can, the BOC3 is a blanket of coverage. Basically, it's a way that people can get in touch with you if they're trying to sue you. So basically, you have a representative in every single state. If you ever get into an accident, God forbid, they be able to reach out to that attorney's office and serve you papers. You understand? So this is nothing but $50. Next thing you're going to go to is your IRP. This stands for International Registry Plan. And this is your apportioned plates, your tags, right? You can't go to the regular DMV to get a tag. You got to go get yours through the International Registry Plan, IRP. Now, this can vary. This can run you for anywhere from $1,300 to $1,600. It just depending on what state you're in. Okay? All right, the next thing we're going to do is get our decals. The decals are what you see on the side of the truck. So that's your MC number, your USDOT number, the name of your company and business. All right? And you have to have this on your vehicle to operate. So this costs about $100. All right? The next thing you're going to do is get a load board. Now, the load board is where you're going to find loads unless you already built relationships with direct customers or, brokers that can give you freight. If you don't have anybody that can give you freight, you're going to download one of these load boards, and the subscription costs like $50 a month. You got DAT load board, you have Truck Stop, you have Truck Smart. It's hundreds of load boards, but on average, it's about $50 a month, and this is where you can go find your loads at, okay? The next thing you're going to invest in is a TMS system, all right? This is a transportation management system, and this is where you kind of keep everything organized, all the loads that you have run, and it just really helps you stay organized, okay? It helps you with dispatching on the back office side. And then last but least, you're going to get a fuel card, okay? Now, you might need a fuel card, you might not need a fuel card. It just depends on your situation. If you're running miles, on average, you're going to spend at least $2,000 on fuel a week if you run. So, a fuel card may be a good investment, because if not, you have to come out that money off the top. You see what I'm saying? So the low cost to start, this trucking company is about $17,000, and the high side is about $29,000. Let me tell you something. I spent a little bit more. I spent $33,000 to get my company started, right? If I had to say do things different, I probably would. I'll probably just pay off a truck and then run it. And it's crazy because my very first truck, it was paid off. I paid $20,000 for it, but I never ran it. But that's another story we'll get into. I ended up selling it for $40,000 when COVID hit. I made a quick little flip. But yeah, that's what it's gonna take, man. So yeah, man, You guys want to get in, man, go ahead and do your research. And this is what it takes to get started, man. All right, this big red trill. Lock in, man.